Hi everyone, you are Reddit exposed there, enjoy watching.
A young woman, Anna, 28 years old, standing in the cold rain on a deserted street of the night city. Her face is pale, her eyes are red from crying, and in her hands is a crumpled note with blurred ink. She's wearing a tattered coat, and her hair is matted from the rain. In the distance is the blurred silhouette of a man, Maxim, her ex, who leaves without looking back. Lanterns are reflected in puddles, creating the effect of a split reality. The style is cinematic realism, dark tones, and an emphasis on emotion. The frame conveys loneliness, betrayal, and the irreversibility of loss. Anna comes to her empty apartment, the one where they once lived together. There's still a photo of them together on the wall, but now it's distorted, as if someone tore it off in a fit of rage. She turns on the light, but the bulb flashes and goes out, leaving her in semi-darkness. Suddenly, her gaze falls on the old suitcase by the door, the one Maxim left with 3 years ago. It's open. Inside is a bundle of letters, all unopened, and a key to an unknown door. Why did he bring this here? Anna goes to the address engraved on the key, an abandoned cafe by the river where they first confessed their love for each other. Inside there are torn photos, empty bottles, and a tape recorder with one film. She presses play. Maxim's voice a whisper with static. Anya, if you're hearing this, then I'm not coming back. These 6 hours are not an accident. They took me away, just like they took you away. Sorry. Look for her. Anna is horrified to realize that the 6 hours of her disappearance is not just a captivity. Bits and pieces pop up in her memory. A dark room with mirrors. The woman in black who whispered, "You chose him, now pay up." My own hands erasing memories from the diary. Suddenly the phone vibrates, an unknown number. She picks up the phone, a voice girlish, cold. "You're awake? Come." He's waiting. On the other end is the soft sound of their old lullaby. Anna clutches the watch given by the ghost girl in her hand. The arrows start moving in the opposite direction. Suddenly, she hears a familiar laugh, Maxim's voice, but not from the phone, but from her own head. "You remember our agreement, right?" Flashback, a night 5 years ago. The two of them are in the same cafe, but there are wrong stars outside the window. Maxim hands her a mirror with a cracked glass. "If you break it, you will change the past. But you'll forget something important." She broke it. Anna returns to the apartment, but now everything is different. There is no photo on the wall. There are 2 reflections of her in the mirror, one crying, the other smiling. There is a diary with torn pages on the table, but under the ultraviolet light, the flashlight of her phone, the lines appear. "She took it in exchange for me." I agreed. Why did I forget that? Outside the window is the same girl in white. She waves her hand as if beckoning for me to follow her. Anna follows the girl to an old cemetery by the river. There is an overgrown crypt with her name on the tiled date of death, exactly 6 hours ago. Inside, the mirror is from the past, but now it's whole. Maxim's phone is on the floor with the recorder on. His whisper, "I've found a way to get you back, but now they'll take me. Sorry. Look for the 3rd one." The girl touches the mirror and the glass turns into black water. "Are you ready to see the truth?" Anna freezes in front of a black mirror. The water in it ripples, reflecting not her face, but someone else's, the same woman in black. "You finally found me?" says a voice that seems to come from all the shadows at once. The girl in white disappears, and she comes out of the crypt tall with her face hidden by a veil. In her hands, she holds scissors tied with a ribbon of Anna's hair. "We're of the same blood. You're the 3rd. The one who has to choose, return it or erase everything." The woman touches Anna's temple, and she sees Maxim is in the basement, chained up. He is furiously drawing something on the wall, very key that Anna found. Their first meeting, but now it's clear. This is not an accident. He approached her on the instructions of that very woman. Herself standing over the body of a girl in white, her sister, with scissors in his hands. "You've already made that choice." "And I lost," the woman whispers. Anna grabs a pair of scissors. If she cuts the ribbon, Maxim will disappear forever, but she will remain with the memory of him. If he leaves everything as it is, he will return, but the girl in white, her sister, he'll take another loved one. Suddenly, the clock strikes 6. The glass of all the mirrors is cracking, releasing shadow versions of Anna from other realities. They whisper, "Run. He's not worth it. You know who she really is." Anna chooses the unexpected, grabs a pair of scissors and plunges them into her palm. Blood drips onto the floor, merging with the cracks between the tiles of the crypt. "I don't choose you or him. I choose the truth," she says, looking into the eyes of the woman in black. A shadow casts a veil, and Anna sees that it is her own face, but aged by decades. Blood animates the walls of the crypt. They show images of the past. Little Anna in the same white dress falls off the swing. Her twin sister Lisa runs to her, but it's too late. The woman in black, their mother, makes a deal with something on the other side of the mirrors, one life for another. Lisa disappears, and Anna forgets. But everyone had to pay. Maxim became a debt, and his mother became a guardian between worlds. The woman in black, mother, crying tears of blood, "I was trying to save you both." Anna understands that to break the cycle, you need to erase false memories. She takes a pair of scissors and she cuts her hair, symbolically breaking the link with the past. Smashes the main mirror with his elbow. The crypt is collapsing. Anna opens her eyes. She's not in a hospital or a crypt. There is an endless corridor of broken mirrors all around. Each fragment contains a different version of her life, where she hadn't met Maxim, where she died instead of Lisa, where she became the woman in black. A girl in white comes out of the darkness, but now her dress is blackened at the edges. "You're almost there," she says, handing Anna the last piece of glass. "There is an emptiness in it. The splinter digs into the palm of my hand." Memory flash. Children's room. The mother, the woman in black, draws a symbol on the floor, a pentagram of mirrors. Lisa stands in the center, scared. Anna holds her hand. A voice from nowhere. "One must stay. Choose one." But the choice was not made by the mother. Little Anna pushes Lisa into the center of the circle. "I don't want to die." Anna finally understands Lisa is not a victim. She's the keeper of mirrors, punished for refusing to pay. Maxim is just a pawn, a bait to get Anna back. The mother tried to save both of them, but condemned herself to the role of a supervisor. The girl in black and white, now clearly Lisa, takes Anna's hand. "The past cannot be changed, but you can rewrite the rules." She points to the last complete mirror. They're both in it, little ones before the ritual. Anna picks up the last unbroken fragment of the mirror, the one that showed her childhood. It's not her face in it, but the door. The one that led to the basement where Maxim had disappeared. The girl in black and white, Lisa, shakes her head. "Are you sure? There is nothing there but the truth." But Anna is already putting the splinter to her chest, and the mirror door opens. Behind the door is the alchemist's office, walls covered with formulas of eternity, flasks with shadows instead of liquids. In the center is a massive mirror in an iron frame, and in front of it, an old man with a face like cracked porcelain. Finally, his voice sounds like it's coming from all the mirrors at once. "I've been waiting for one of you to be strong enough to walk." He turns around and Anna sees these are her own eyes, but on someone else's face. The old man, he is the first guardian, tells mirrors are not traps but bridges. All the women in black are former Annas from other cycles. Lisa is not a sister, but a part of her soul cut off by fear. You can become the new owner of the mirrors. He holds out a key made of bone, or there is a crackling sound as the mirror behind him breaks from the inside. Shadows with her face creep out of the cracks. When Anna breaks the last mirror, everything freezes. The fragments don't fall, they hover in the air, forming a three-dimensional map. Cities are the facets of a crystal. People are distorted reflections of each other. Time is just a change in the angles of refraction. The old alchemist laughs, and his body crumbles into thousands of small mirrors. "Did you think it was you who made the choice? You're just another reflection of the real Anna." A black liquid is leaking out of the broken mirror. Anna dives into it, and it turns out in an empty white room with no doors. In front of her is a monitor with a recording. Experiment No. 6. Modeling consciousness through mirror neural networks. On the wall is a calendar with the date, 2067. A voice from the speakers. Subject Anna 6 has reached the cognitive limit. We erase the memory and start the cycle again. Anna punches the monitor, the screen cracks, but there are no wires behind it, only endless rows of similar rooms. In each, there are other Annas experiencing their own versions of the nightmare. There is an inscription on the far wall, the Echo Project. The goal, to create an ideal model for overcoming trauma. She grabs a piece of the screen and slashes open her wrist. The blood is real. Anna's blood spreads across the laboratory floor, forming a mirror surface. Suddenly, all the monitors synchronously show one phrase, Error 606, subject has acquired consciousness. The walls crack, exposing a giant crystal processor. It turns out that the whole reality was a simulation within a simulation. A panicked voice is heard from the speakers. She has gone beyond the matrix. Activate the Black Mirror protocol. Anna goes to the last whole screen and rips out the cable. A hologram appears in front of her. It's her, but in a lab coat with gray temples. On his chest is a badge. Drive. Anna Vetrova, the head of the Echo Project. You are my 6th attempt at modeling. Issue, says the hologram. In the first 5, you were going crazy. The truth is opening up. The real Anna is a scientist who created an artificial mind to treat injuries. Maxim is her deceased husband. Lisa is a dead daughter. Mirrors are an interface for reliving pain. The hologram shows the recording. The real laboratory has been destroyed. Anna's body is connected to the car. She is in a coma after the explosion. This story writes itself through you. Your consciousness is just a carrier for the virus of narration. The real Anna is the one who is reading these lines right now. The monitor starts, show your reflection with a 6-second delay, bring out your own memories as new chapters and automatically print your thoughts about the story. Do you notice there is a counter in the corner of the screen? Readers infected 606. Your name is gradually being replaced by Anna 607. The cursor flashes to the rhythm of your heartbeat. A true choice appears before you. Become an author. Accept that you've always been a character. Start writing a warning to the next reader to add the DNA code of the virus to the story. Awake. Remove all traces of contact with the text. Change your name and move. Check if you have any new moles in the shape of the number 6. Stay here, reread the story. First, find all the hidden messages to realize that there were never any options. You suddenly realize that the letters on the screen, collected in your own memories, swapping the numbers in your documents, they form a pattern of moles on your hand. Your smartphone opens the gallery offline. All photos were taken. On the 6th, each one has a shadow with an hourglass on it. The metadata contains the coordinates of an abandoned cafe. The mirror in the hallway shows your reflection is 6 minutes in the future. It holds a note with your handwriting on it. Lips whisper, "You're late?" When you turn around, 6 drops of fresh blood appear on the wall. Familiar laughter comes from the speakers. The data 606 appears on the palm. Your computer offers. Accept the terms. Become the next storyteller. Add your name to the list of victims. Get access to the mirror archive. Opt out. Remove all traces of contact. Burn the device, but it will come back. Check if you have a shadow. Do not choose. Leave the tab open. Watch as the story edits itself, waiting for someone to come for you. Do you notice any oddities? Your fingers leave bloody marks on the keys. A silhouette of a girl in white appears in the corner of the room. All electronic devices synchronously show 6 o'clock. Your computer opens access to a hidden folder. 606 files with your photos. There are subtle changes in each one. There is no watch on one hand. There are other people's reflections in the mirrors. In the background is the same woman in black. A dialog box appears in front of you. Agree to continue. Your life will be the next chapter. You will get access to all previous versions, but you can never stop. Try to exit. Delete all traces of history. Change your place of residence, but the mirrors will haunt you. Write your own ending, but who guarantees that this is really your choice? Perhaps this is also part of the script, or a readiness test. The eyes open abruptly. You're lying in your bed. My heart is pounding, and my forehead is covered in cold sweat. Oh, my God. Was it a dream? It's an ordinary morning outside. Sunlight breaks through the curtains. The clock on the bedside table is ticking. 6:01. You sit down, look around. Everything is in place. The mirror in the corner of the room reflects only you. The phone is on charge, no strange messages. There are only fragments of a nightmare in your head, mirrors, a girl in white, and hourglass. You take a deep breath and decide to check. Approach the mirror. Your reflection repeats the movements, nothing strange. Pick up your phone, no new files, just yesterday's notifications. Look at the wrist, number 606 tattoo. Just a dream. Wipe your face with the palm of your hand. But when you lower your hand, a thin scratch remains on your palm, as if from a piece of glass. You start violently, gasping for air. The white ceiling of a hospital room is in front of my eyes. IV drip. The monotonous rush of the machines. The nurse by the bed raises her eyebrows in surprise. Are you awake? You were in a coma exactly 6 hours after the accident. You're trying to speak, but your tongue won't work. The doctor shines a flashlight into the pupils. Don't worry, Anna. Everything is fine. Your sister Lisa has just come out into the corridor. She has been on duty here all these days. Your gaze falls on the clock on the wall. The hands show 6 o'clock. Your wrists, the marks from the ives add up to the number 6 window. Someone left an hourglass in the snow behind the glass. The nurse, following your gaze, shrugs her shoulders in disbelief. There's no one there. It seemed to you. But when everyone turns away, the hourglass outside the window turns over on its own. End. Or the beginning. Check your hospital photos. Are there any strange highlights on them? Epilogue. 3 truths. Lisa's truth. When you finally come to your senses, your sister tearfully tells you that the accident happened at exactly 6 a.m. Doctors have declared you clinically dead 6 times. But you always came back at the 606th second of intensive care. The truth of doctors. In the medical records you find 6 unexplained coincidences. Temperature 36.6. 6 heartbeats per minute at a critical moment. A note. The subject demonstrates abnormal brain activity in the theta range. 6 Hz. Photo of a broken windshield. The cracks form a perfect 6. Your truth. When you leave the hospital, do you find a mirror fragment in the pocket of your robe? Do you dream of a girl in white waving goodbye to you? You discover that all the clocks in the house are still 6 minutes behind. The last frame, you throw a piece of glass into the river. The splash forms a perfect circle. There is no one on the opposite shore. But when you leave, a hand appears out of the water and grabs a stone. The end of the story, but not yours. Check your watch. Count the shadows. And remember, real nightmares always leave traces in reality. Thank you for coming this way. Now it's your turn to be a warning to someone else. A year later, you live an ordinary life. Work, home, rare meetings with Lisa. But the oddities have not disappeared. They have become quieter, more imperceptible. Every 6th at 6 a.m. You wake up with the taste of copper in your mouth, and every 6th photo on your phone, a hazy silhouette is visible in the background. Mirrors in your home sometimes show a room not as it really is. Today is the anniversary of the accident. You decide to visit the scene of the accident. There is a fresh wreath with a note on the side of the road. To Anna, who got out, we are waiting for you in the mirror. You're Lisa, but your sister never signs her name like that. You turn around in the windshield of a parked car. Your reflection smiles at you for the last time and disappears. At this moment, all clocks within a 6-block radius are stopped. An old phone rings in your pocket, which you don't have, and a familiar voice comes from the speakers. Did you think this was the end? We've just started. You hold the phone to your ear. On the other end is your own breath. The end. Check how many mirrors there are in your house. There are 1 more of them than there were yesterday. You drop your phone. It breaks, but instead of electronics, there's an hourglass inside. The sand flows upward. Suddenly you understand. Your real life after a coma is another layer of mirror. Lisa was never a real sister in the hospital. The accident is a rite of passage from all the cracks in the world. They begin twos, shadows with your facial features mirrored mercury that adds up to numbers, voices singing a lullaby in reverse. You find the diary in your bag. On the last page is your 10-year-old photo. On the back, these are not your memories. A single untouched mirror appears in front of you. In him, you're in a lab coat. Your hands have grown together with the keyboard. This is the story on the monitor, but the last paragraphs are written by themselves. Do you understand the main thing? You are not Anna. You are not a reader, you are the text itself, doomed to repeat itself. You open your eyes in a white room with no doors. In front of you, a holographic keyboard with a single 6 key. -1 monitors showing different versions of your life, an endless list with the names of all the Annas before you. Number 606 is highlighted in red, a voice from nowhere. Congratulations. You have reached the end of the program. Select the reboot mode. 3 doors appear on the wall. The door of oblivion, complete memory erasure, returning to a normal life, but every morning at 6 o'clock you will draw an hourglass on the windowsill. The keeper's door, become a new system supervisor, gain access to all mirror worlds, but your reflection will always remain in the text. The door of rebellion, try to destroy the system, but if you lose, become the next woman in black. When you reach out your hand, all the doors disappear. A single mirror appears in their place. It reflects the first on a number 1 on the list. She spills ink on the glass, and an inscription appears. You already made a choice 606 years ago. Continue. Epilogue. Medical report. Dr. Kovalev is closing your medical history. Patient Anna S., 32 years old. Diagnosis: post-traumatic stress disorder after an accident, false memory syndrome, hypnagogic hallucinations on the background of taking antidepressants. Real facts: the accident really happened at 6 a.m. You have been in a coma for exactly 6 days, not hours. Lisa is your younger sister and legal guardian. The hourglass was a gift from her on the day of discharge. Explanation of the mirrors: the effect of déjà vu due to traumatic brain injury, side effect of the drug Nurofen 606, sleep paralysis during therapy. What really happened: the woman in black is a social worker. The girl in white is a neighbor's girl who brought you flowers. All the omens are coincidences that the brain has connected into a logical chain. The last entry in the chart: the patient has fully recovered. Recommended: continue to be monitored by a neurologist, avoid stress, get back to work in 6 weeks. You're leaving the clinic. It's exactly 6 p.m. on the clock. Lisa is waiting by the car. Well, let's go home. She smiles. You take one last look at the hospital windows. A shadow flickers in one of them, but it's just the nurse closing the curtains. End. Or the beginning of a new, completely ordinary life. Without mirrors. No secrets. Without the number 6. Though, look at the license plate of this car, 606 and V. Reality is always more prosaic than fantasy, but it's much safer.